Alright, so we're back for kind of part 2. This was part 2. Hopefully you guys watched my unboxing video where we unbox the Snoppa Atom. And I love this thing, this whole setup here. Love it. Today though, we're going to look at the app and we're going to actually take it out, try some of it, and see some of the features and how they actually work. Now, a few things that you want to be aware of. I'm going to mount this here, hold the little button on the side, right, to open up here. This will pull down. And I don't know if you can see that, but up top here, there's always these little lock unlock, so you kind of know which way to spin it. Each of them have that. So on this side as well, if you look right here, hopefully you guys can see it. There it is. There's a lock unlock. Gets the gimbal kind of in its position, so it kind of ends up sitting like this. It's got a side arm, not a back arm. So I'm gonna get my phone in there. It does have wireless charging. I found out, and I had said this in the previous video, that I wasn't sure if that was there. It is, but if it does have a case on it, I think possibly, depending on your case, mine of course sets the phone up too far from the back, and because of that it actually doesn't touch the wireless charger, which means that don't work. Here it is on there. What we're going to do now is we're just going to turn this on. So on the side here there's a little switch, so we slide up, boom, ready to go. And I have it set to use this mode button up here. Again, mode button is right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm going to tap it and it should put it in that orientation. Such great features on this thing. And the reason I'm doing that, of course, is we'll tilt this, is so that I can show you the app properly and have this just kind of sitting here and we can go through a bunch of this stuff. Okay, so we're going to just look up, as there it is. It should see the gimbal right away. Atom, yep, enter device, Bluetooth connected, excellent. Let's start at the side. So on the side here, you'll see there's a little camera, okay, switches, so you can go through all your settings. So video, slow motion, face track, object tracking, motion time-lapse, and back to video. Or you can go to the photo side where you can go photo. It's Sudoku, but it's really, as far as I can see, a 3x3 pan. There's night shots, lit paint, and these ones are really different. I played with them yesterday a little bit. They're different ways of long exposure. This lit paint, lit filled, I guess. There's standard panorama, and back to photo. Now, the one thing that's really cool is there's a joystick on the front of this. All of these can be done from the joystick. So literally from the joystick, I can, if you can see this, I can flip around between these and go through and do all my selections. So I barely ever really have to touch the screen. There's a couple things that I do, but for this, not really. So I'm gonna keep it there. The other one you'll see below the little camera is it looks like a little person walking, and if you tap on it, it'll go through some different ones, sort of like fast walking, standard walking. I'm not sure what the star is. Back to the very top, you'll see me, because I'm logged in, that's my user. Settings, which is important, and these are big ones. So camera resolution. This is again going to depend on what your phone has the ability of recording in, so don't think this is some kind of magic. Video format. You'll see mine is set to high efficiency video codec, and the reason is I do like shooting in the 4K 60 frame, and it has to be in that video format to be able to get that option. So I had to do it. Video quality, if you go into it, you do have the option to go from medium, low, or high. Grid, do you want the grid up? And zoom focus. Now this is kind of a two-part. This will depend, there's a little slider button on the side here, and this slider will be either zoom or focus. So depending on which it's set to will depend on what this does. So it says zoom focus. Because mine's set to zoom, I want a nice slow zoom, so that's what it's set. If it was set to focus, it would do a slow or fast focus. If we come down, wireframe mode, just so you can see what wireframe mode is. I don't know why it's not necessarily, maybe it's only in photo, maybe? I'm not sure. Everything kind of goes black normally. Early apps, so maybe certain things aren't functioning properly, but it did work. Everything goes black and you just get blue outlines around all the edges. Useful? I guess maybe. Let's just come back here to video. I just want to make sure that I don't actually have wireframe. No, still not. Manual mode, of course, if you click on it, you'll be able to go in and change everything manually when you're actually recording. Gimbal, this is your scenario. So, oh, this will probably give me it. So that's that same little running walkie guide that's on the side. So you got run, walk, or custom. There you go. So you can actually go in, that's the star, and set all your custom settings in here if you so choose. And gimbal, there's that slide key. So this is where you get to choose if you want zoom or adjust focus. I like mine for zoom. Customize button. So if we tap on this, there's a couple buttons here, not a lot of buttons, but there's a button on the very back of the trigger here. There's the trigger and a button down here. And that's that back key. And then there's what's called the M key, and the M key is this one here. So when you're holding it, it's kind of right where your thumb rests, just above the power button. Number one is the follow mode. So what happens is you'll see this is going like this. But if I tap this bottom button, the button back here, it'll switch to, oh, I did that wrong. That was the 180 turn, so short press. A long press, if you hold it, it switches between the follow mode and the stationary mode, and it only, I think, has 2 or 3 modes, so I'm gonna just go back to long hold. Back key, of course, is, you saw that if I just tap it, camera spins around again. The M key, which is that one down by your thumb, this is kind of cool. So you have your orientation switch, that is orientation, ready? Click, so that way, or that way. And if I long hold it, this is the important part that I was talking about earlier. If I long hold it, this is where you and I can either turn off or on wireless charging. So you'll see now in the top right hand corner, there's the battery. One battery, of course, is the phone's battery, and one battery is the internal battery. So if I click and hold that, ready, you'll actually see that now it is doing a wireless charge. You see the little green lightning bolt come up on the phone, and if I hold it again, it's gone. So you can turn it on, which is nice, because I was like, is it on all the time? Because that may pull a lot out of your gimbal if you don't necessarily need to wireless charge. Continuing on, hold on, looking down here. So you do have level calibration and drift calibration. I did the level calibration. Literally, you just sit it up nice and straight and let her do its thing. Last but not least is general. This is your device list, whatever is connected, no other devices available. And the app quick guide if you want to watch it. And of course, we can get out of here. Next across the top is your light. So you can have it on permanently, you can have it automatically, or you can have it off. I'm gonna have mine off. Following one on there, if you tap on it, is your screen. So which camera is being used, so your front facing or your rear. And last but not least, this one here is for face tracking. That's kind of a quick look. Now, the other thing to realize too is the buttons themselves. So you will have this button here, so it's the big thumb one, is so that you can move this around, right? Move it up and down, do whatever you need to. When you come over here, this button beside it is the button that brings up your menus so that you can kind of go through them once you have whatever you want, right? You can click and it selects it, click again, go through, right or left, depending on what you want to shoot, which is awesome. So we'll go back to video. Last one down here is this button at the bottom, and this button, of course, is the start recording button. So now it's recording or doing whatever feature that I needed to do, which is cool. And stop. What we're going to do now is actually go outside and we'll check to see how the stabilizer works. As well, we'll do some of the features. So we will see how face tracking works, we'll see how object tracking works, and then we'll come back and see if this is a win or not. All right, my friends, we'll be back right away. All right, so I'm back in the house from testing out this gimbal, and there's some positives and sadly some negatives that I want to kind of talk about. Firstly, let's talk about the positives. I do think that the gimbal itself, the hardware, fantastic. Let's go over a few things that I tried. So number one, and I'll give you a little clip here, was how you and I would use a gimbal normally. It's just kind of walking with it. So I'll give you a clip here as I walk forward, and I have the camera facing that way, and I do it also facing back toward me so you guys can see that. So we'll watch that clip right now. Alright, so we're gonna try to see how good this thing is when I'm walking. So just a nice standard walk. I actually have the microphone plugged in with my lightning cable to see if that helps at all. And we'll just do a quick little 20-second walk up the street just to see how it is. So far, looks good, I think. And then what we'll do is we will stop this and we will walk back this way again, seeing how this works. So again, I got a little microphone. I'll put a link up top if you guys want to see which little mic I'm using. Really just to see how the stabilizer is. It's cold out again today. So the only thing I would probably do with this, the nice thing of a bigger gimbal is the fact that the handle is usually longer, so I can get it out. Maybe if I fold the legs down, I can get it out a little bit further. Ready? Maybe right there, maybe? Let's see. Like that, maybe? Yeah, that's alright. But how steady is it? Really, that's the key. How steady is it? And can you hear me? I think so. That's actually, I think, pretty good. So, again, I got the little extra microphone plugged in, so hopefully that's helping. So, stabilizer seems good. As far as I can see in the screen. We'll see more when we go upstairs. And I'm gonna go inside. I'll probably do some more testing later on, but for this video, I think that's enough to see what it's doing. Okay, in the house we go. Now, one of the things to be aware of with this is that I was shooting with my iPhone XR, and I was using, so I'll show you this, it's a little tiny microphone, and again I'll put a link up here if you guys want to go look at it. I was using this little contraption, so it's the, I don't know what you call this, Jack, the 3.5 millimeter headphone cable, basically to the headphone to lightning into my phone. And I think because I had this with the wind muff on it, the audio inside it was really good. Stabilization, I think, is fantastic. I really like this stable. So if you are using this really as a stabilizer, and that's really what it is, being able to walk forward and backward, really good. I'd like to try it. I'll probably do this in another video where I use some wide angle lenses on my phone just to see how the weight is, as well as, so I have some cheap wide angle lenses and I have some moment lenses. So I want to check to see how it deals with that. That was kind of good. Now the other thing I tried on here, which was a positive, again, was face tracking. So I got in front of it and moved around, and it seemed to track me really, really good. Now it doesn't track overly fast, so if you're kind of running around a lot, that's not gonna be able to keep up with you. And if you go too far, it seems to lose you as well. But one of the keys that I found here, which is a big perk, is that it does an auto facial detection. So most of these you actually have to kind of highlight your face, you kind of drag over them. Not this one, it kind of just says, hey, there's a person's face. Let's track that person. What I don't know is what happens when it sees multiple people. So I'm not 100% sure. I'll see if I can do some testing down the road in regards to that. Some of the photo features that I tried, so I tried the really long panorama one, turned out excellent, no question. It was, you know, it's at least, I don't know, 180, 270 degrees, something like that. So it's a really wide, not tall photo. So if you're looking for that, perfect. Make sure you got it on a tripod. I tried their Sudoku mode, which I think is the 3x3. I don't know what the hell it did with that. It's got a really weird stitch. So that part's kind of a negative. That's a negative for sure. Time lapse, I did that one. Worked fine. Nothing wrong with the time lapse. Nothing here to show you, but I did one. And last but not least, and here's the other negative, is the motion time lapse. There is nothing I could do to get the motion time lapse to work properly. You could put in all your points, so point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, so I want it to start here, go here, go here, go here. And I don't know what it would do. It would go through those points and then just continue around. Not that I do a lot of that, but it would be nice to have, and it is a feature, so I'm not really sure why I was having issues. Now again, this is a new gimbal, and it's a new addition into their app. So will there be updates and fixes? Pretty much every one of the errors or flaws or whatever that I saw was app-based. Nothing really hardware-based, all app-based. So that can easily be remedied in a future update, and my hope would be that it does. I did send an email to them to Snoppa with these concerns to see if I get a response. So we will see if that happens, and hopefully we'll see an update that remedies that. Other than that, you know, for me, this really is a stabilizer that I'm going to use handheld, mostly in a vlogging scenario. The odd time I may use it to do face tracking. So it's going to do everything I need. I think with the small little problems with the app that can be fixed, I think this is still a really good win. And the features that it has and that it does really well are features that I really like. And it totally bypasses any of the negatives that are there. The big positives for me, number one, size. This thing is tiny, it folds up, I can put it in my pocket. So if I am traveling, even with shorts on, this can fit, especially if you're wearing anything with like a cargo pocket. Number two, the fact is I can plug in an external microphone to this. Yes, please. That's fantastic. Even if it's not a mic like this, I could kind of set up a contraption here, because this has a thread on the bottom where I have a shoe, and maybe I have a shotgun over here. Even better. So that's cool. Or a wireless that comes back, because if you can't fit a wireless on your iPhone with all the weight and weirdness and the cables, this though would work. And last but not least, one of the other nice added benefits of this is wireless charging. And not even wireless charging. If you like the wireless, that works good, but they actually have it set up so you can do wired charging to your phone as well. So you've got wired charging, wireless charging, external microphones. This thing folds up tiny. Got a bunch of customized buttons. I don't really think there's anything hardware wise that they're missing. The only thing they need to do is work a little bit on their app. Push that up. Get those couple little bugs out of there. And this thing would be 100% win. Right now, I'm gonna put it at a 80. It's an 80% win for me. Again, if you're the person that needs that motion time lapse, I don't know, maybe it'll work. Maybe it's something with the phone. If you need that weird Sudoku 3x3, again, I don't know if it's phone related, but mine, and I showed you a picture, I don't know what the heck happened there. Definitely not right. Anyways, that's it for me today. I'm gonna leave you there. If you have any questions on this, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always eager to talk to you guys. And that's all. That's it. All right, my friends, I'm gonna leave you there. Like, comment, share, and subscribe as per the usual. And we will see you all in the next video. Later, my friends.